Here's how Trump went from millionaire to billionaire and how you can do it too. How much money did Trump make on his first day as president? What are some of the most puzzling aspects of Donald Trump's businesses? Want to get anywhere in life? This video shows how you can follow Donald Trump's example. Trump's wealth comes from his ownership of the Trump Organization, a real estate conglomerate and licensing company that owns commercial and residential properties and golf courses in the US, Ireland, and Scotland. Inside the billion-dollar life of Donald Trump will be analyzed here. In a partnership with Vornado Realty Trust, he owns 30% of 1290 6th Avenue in New York and 555 California Street in San Francisco. He also rents 40 Wall Street and 6 East 57th Street in New York. A penthouse in Trump Tower is also his. According to New York City's ACRIS directory, the value of about 18 condos at 502 Park Avenue is based on the prices of recently sold units in the building. Prices to sales ratios determine the value of 14 golf and golf resort properties, including the Trump Doral in Florida. Trump's financial disclosure forms show how much money these properties brought in over the past 3 years. This was done to make up for the money lost when COVID-19 closed. As a liability, these properties' debts are included. In March 2021, Mara Value Lagos was changed to consider how much it's worth as a private home. Now, the value of the private club is based on recent home sales in Palm Beach and how well it has done as a business. It used to be part of the golf and resort section, but now it is listed as a separate asset. Sherry Dillon, an attorney at Morgan Lewis, said at a press conference on January 11, 2017, that Trump restructured his business after he was elected president in November 2016. She said his sons will still own his assets through a trust they run. His cash investments are determined by the Office of Government Ethics annual report. Based on the filings and mortgage documents, a liability of $630 million is included. Trump said in June 2015 that his wealth was $8.7 billion, which included $2 billion for his golf and resort properties and $3.3 billion for his branded developments and license agreements. In May 2016, he said his wealth was more than $10 billion. In March 2021, Trump's wealth was updated. It dropped by about $200 million since it was last valued. This is because new financial data shows that all of his properties' income dropped in 2020, probably because of COVID-19 shutdown and fewer people traveled. Homes. His father, Fred Trump, famously remarked that whatever he touched turned gold. The elder Trump, a real estate entrepreneur in Queens and Brooklyn, gave Donald the funds to enter the Manhattan real estate market. This young Midas now commands his dominion from a 3-story penthouse atop Trump Tower. Trump told a season of The Apprentice participants standing in his living room, "If you're truly successful, you'll all live like this." Well, perhaps not in this manner, he told another team. Some consider this apartment the greatest in the world. I would never say that, but the apartment is wonderful. The apartment is on the 68th floor of a glass skyscraper at 725 5th Avenue. It is decorated on what we call high Trump style. It looks like the Palace of Versailles and has door-to-ceiling windows, hand-painted ceilings, fountains, paintings, lots of marble, and 2 huge gold-plated doors as the cherry on top. Experts in real estate say that if the penthouse went on the market today, it would sell for at least $100 million. Trump had country homes, just like any other billionaire. Mar-a-Lago, an oceanfront estate in Palm Beach, Florida, that he bought for $10 million in 1985 is the most luxurious. The assets on the National Register of Historical Places built in 1927 by heiress Marjorie Merriweather Post are on 20 acres of what many people think is the most valuable land in Florida. Trump lived in the mansion for a decade and hosted prominent people there. Michael Jackson and Lisa Marie Presley honeymooned at the estate. In 1995, he made it an elite membership club, but preserved private apartments for his family. After erecting a 20,000 square foot ballroom, He married Slovenian model Melania Nas at the estate in 2005. Guests included Bill and Hillary Clinton, Rudolph W. Giuliani, Simon Cowell, Barbara Walters, and Tony Bennett. Just the Way You Are was by Billy Joel. His family also has a weekend home near New York City. Seven Springs was developed in 1919 by Eugene Meyer, former Federal Reserve Chairman and proprietor of the Washington Post. Trump bought the 60-room estate for $7.5 million with hopes of developing the 230-acre property, but it remained a family hideaway. He can visit Le Chateau des Palmiers on St. Martin if he wants tropical winds. If he is on the West Coast campaigning, he may stay in Beverly Hills. Trump paid pennies for the Klug residence in Charlottesville, Virginia. The winery Vineyard and 23,000-square-foot residence were the pride and joy of tycoon John Kluge and his wife Patricia. Kluge's wife put the company up for sale for $100 million, but the bank confiscated it. Trump bought the adjacent vineyard and ground for $7.9 million in 2011 and the 45-room residence for $6.5 million. It's called Trump Vineyard Estates currently. Aircraft. His main mode of ride is a Boeing 757 that he bought from Microsoft co-founder Paul Allen in 2011. It features Rolls-Royce engines, 24-karat gold trim, seat belt buckles, leather seats for up to 43 passengers, television screens, and 2 bedrooms in a space that would normally carry 239 people as the word Trump emblazoned on the side. The 757, which cost an estimated $100 million, is one of the world's fastest business jets. Remarkably, it had its documentary on the Smithsonian Channel in 2013. Viewers witnessed the pilot clean the upholstery with a toothbrush and wipe down the galley to match Trump's requirements. He also owns a Cessna Citation X business aircraft and 3 $7 million Sikorsky S-76 helicopters, one of which he used to give youngsters rides at the Iowa State Fair. Fair officials refused to allow him to use the premises, so he moved and got all the press. Cars. Trump owns a few elite foreign cars scattered around his estates. He started with a 1956 Rolls-Royce Silver Cloud and now has a 2015 Rolls-Royce Phantom, $500,000 and above, that he drives personally, and a Maybach Ferrari he gives to Melania, included a Mercedes-Benz S600 and a McLaren SLR that cost him $455,000. Car enthusiasts recognized that electric blue 1997 Lamborghini Diablo with his name, but in 2005 he no longer owned it, so the Apprentice contestants had to advertise it. A Tesla and an Escalade are also part of the fleet. Golf courses. According to his fellow golfers, he enjoys shaving off a few strokes and designing the finest golf courses in the universe. His current portfolio includes over a dozen courses in Scotland, his mother's birthplace, Ireland, Florida, Los Angeles, New Jersey, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, and Virginia. Their monetary value is the topic of heated discussion. Trump rates his 16 golf-related enterprises at least $550 million. According to industry experts, he is grossly exaggerating. With $160 million in revenue, they are generously worth $250 million. This does not consider the worth of the assets as future real estate developments. Yacht. Built in 1980 for Saudi millionaire Adnan Khashoggi, the 282-foot yacht worth $100 million, equivalent to more than $250 million, was seductive enough to appear in the James Bond film Never Say Never Again as the ship of the villain Maximilian Largo. Khashoggi experienced financial difficulties and sold the boat to the Sultan of Brunei, who then sold it to Trump for only $29 million in 1987. The Trump Princess was the third largest yacht in the world at the time, with 11 luxury bedrooms, 3 elevators, a movie theater, a disco, a swimming pool, and a helicopter landing pad. It was all a sea lover could desire. That's all for today. If you liked the video, click like and tell your friends and family about it. Soon you'll be able to watch a new video. Keep helping and take care of yourself. Until then.